Okay, Anumta, so tell me, how has COP24 been?
Well, it's been tiring, but at the same time, it's been very, it's a lot to take in. I think that's why it's so tiring, because waking up early in the morning and getting here, that's not the problem, but once you get here, there's just so many things going on at once that the first couple of days is really hard for my head to wrap around it, but once you find your way, then it's a lot more comfortable. But yeah, COP24 so far, my first COP, or maybe my last COP, I don't know, my first
Probably
COP,
not.
Hopefully not my last COP, has been really interesting. And I've learned a lot from the different sessions that I've been to, and I've learned about how negotiations at the UN happen, and I've met different people, different young people, different women, and I've seen people from so many other parts of the world that one of my fears coming here was oh, I'm a Muslim woman coming here, and that I'd be all by myself. There's so many other Muslim women here, and that makes me so much more excited and hopeful about the process and the talks that happen here.
Okay. If you had to summarize what you've learned or what's been important to you, what would you, what would that bullet list look like?
The primary thing that's important to me is the involvement of youth in the discussions that are happening here. And I actually went to a few panels that focused specifically on youth engagement. And at first, I was even telling Navita this earlier, that when I got here, I had a hard time understanding why there needed to be 20,000 people in the center. But after going to these sessions, I think I gained a better understanding of why it's important to have all these different types of people here, and especially youth. Right now, I feel like I didn't make a major contribution to the talks that were happening, but because I'm just a student. But there were other students that were, because they've had previous experience or because they had connections, that they were able to make their voice heard, and in that way pave the way for other students, pave the way for other people of color like me. So the most important thing to me is youth engagement, and specifically involvement of youth of color.
Okay. And okay, so is that your action item? What's your action item, or do you have one?
What do you?
Is there something that you experience here that makes you want to take it home and do something with it?
Well, I guess there is maybe not. Well, I guess my action item is being conscious of my own actions or my own choices. I went to a couple of panels where they really emphasized how the speakers really emphasized how we are inflicting these impacts of climate change on the people around us, and so recognizing our individual responsibility in in making and contributing to this larger effort. So I don't know if that's a really defined action item, but I guess this overall more involvement, more activism.
Okay, was there anything on a emotional level that was particularly important to you or hit you?
I think when I was, before coming to COP, my involvement in activism didn't originate in climate change. It started in immigration and being in my identity as a Muslim American. But I slowly realized that climate change is something that can infiltrate every aspect of our lives. So it threatens security, threatens our health, and if we don't do anything about it, it can be so much more invasive than it already is. And so I think something that really hit me emotionally was that climate change can affect every aspect of our life. It's not just a separate issue. It's not separate from immigration. It's not separate from things like the marginalization of the voices of people of color, or self-censorship. These are all things that are connected to each other, and climate change can potentially have much bigger impacts than what we are immediately seeing.
Okay. Is there any other lingering thoughts you want to share with If you could talk to other people about this event, what would you? Is there anything else lingering that you'd want to share?
Well, I guess like a piece of advice that I'd have for other people who might attend COP and future other young people: like, don't be afraid to go attend events. Don't be afraid to just go in. I think for me, the first day was like I was just really shy. Like I wasn't sure if it was okay if I went inside somewhere. Or don't be afraid to contribute to a session because your voice matters. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you have any other lingering thoughts, but yeah, don't. I think it's something that Al Gore said. Is like, don't just sit in despair. Don't lose hope. Keep on keeping on. Just keep on doing what you're doing, and raising awareness about this issue.
Okay, you feel complete?
I think so.
We can always do it again if something comes to mind.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.